Right. It is very, very important for the business owner to know where your money is going. So you need to know all your expenses. Where is the money going? And what you will see is that many organizations or many business people, their filing is bad. You see, information is all over. There is no structure of filing of the documents. There's no structure. Sometimes the owner has got expenses on his cell phone. And then when you interrogate because of experience at my level, they will forward those documents to you. But things should not work like that for a serious businessman or businesswoman. What are you supposed to do? You are supposed, that's bookkeeping and accounts. So the most important thing before you do accounting is the filing, right? But because of AI, our filing should be seamlessly easy. You understand? But still, we have challenges because our employers or our clients are casual in terms of approach. So instead of involving the bookkeeper in the office to initiate the documents, the business documents, the owner of the business will initiate the transaction and will do the transaction until they finish, which is bad. And half the time, such transactions, we miss them as accountants because we don't know about them. Unless when we look at the bank statements and try to understand what is happening to the bank statements as accountants, then we can see there was this payment, there was that payment, but still, we won't be having the documents. Are we together? So the most important thing in business is filing. Because filing will give you the starting point of your business transactions or your business records. So if your filing is not proper, many people, they don't look at filing as a very important thing. But you cannot have accounting without filing. So the most important thing is filing. Are we together? So for your business, right? I'm not going to be too academic. I'm going to be professional. What do I mean by my project? I'm not going to teach you, but I'm going to relate to you because you have done accounting. You know what I'm talking about. Are we together? So we are sharing, we are discussing. Are we together? I want you to be part of the process. So we are saying the first thing, the first stage is filing. If your filing is not proper, there is no way you can have accurate figures. In accounting, we talk of what? Accuracy as one of the accounting concepts altogether, which when it comes to audit, we now call it an auditor session, where we are saying we want to confirm, an auditor will confirm that your figure is accurate. But don't wait for the auditor to confirm that your figure is accurate. You know, do you have your source documents? Are they properly filed? Can you add the source documents and convince me that if I say my salary is 50,000, you can break down the names of the employees and how much each employee is being paid, and when I add, I get the salary. Many people, they'll give you financials. They'll give you financials. When you ask an accountant, I need financials, they'll give you financials. But when you then say, give me the ledgers or the breakdown of the transactions which are making up your figures, they can't. What are they doing? What are they doing? They are making up figures. They are thumb-sucking figures. They are not doing accounting. Because accounting and bookkeeping and accounting is a process. It's a thorough process, which you have to do meticulously. All together. And with a lot of passion in it. Without passion, you will never have correct numbers. All together. So you need to love your documents. You need to know the type of documents which are floating in your business and take them into groups, those documents, and say, these documents in our business, they are similar. I'll group them and put them in one file, and I'll call this file expenses. So you will have your file with all your expenses, with all your invoices for rent, for electricity, all your invoices will be in one file. Because those are your business expenses. And if you say to me, you want to improve, if you say to me, you want to do better as a businessman or as an accountant, the starting point is to say, how much are our expenses? How much is the revenue? Altogether. Then you can look at your expenses and say, no, certain expenses that I have, I can eliminate them. I don't need them. But if you are not maintaining your records, then you don't know your expenses. Then you cannot manage your business. You now see how many black entrepreneurs are failing. They are failing because they are not maintaining the records. And also, money for business, they sort of mix transactions. You understand? They take personal transactions, they put them in the business, and there's no record of those personal expenses. And you are digging a big grave for yourself as an entrepreneur. What do I mean by that? Because when you have your personal expenses through the business and you don't file, then there is a tax issue. Because the taxman now wants to calculate and charge you tax, because the taxman will consider it a salary. If you pay your own personal expenses, it becomes a salary. If you pay your personal expenses, it's a salary. So we should pay tax on it. Pay as you earn. Are you with me there? So record keeping is very important. One, because it will protect you, okay, in many ways. When there is an audit, a statutory audit, then you are able to prove your figures for accuracy. You are able to prove that the information that I've given to you is complete because you have everything. But if your information cannot be traced in the organization, that's chaos. That's mediocre. There's no way you can have accurate numbers. And when you don't have accurate numbers, it means you cannot make correct decisions. Because you need to know your expenses and then say, which ones can I do away? Which ones can I eliminate? I need to reduce. Because you are saying you want to do better. So I will look at my expense and say, where can I reduce? But without recording, how do you do that? How do you become better? So for many people, they are in business because of the grace of God. Otherwise, it's a matter of time that they will go under. Because they don't know their expenses. And they're not managing their expenses. Are we together? So, what is important? The starting point is filing. So you develop files according to the documents that are in your business. In your business, I know you are raising invoices to customers. So you will have file for sales invoices or file which contains all customers' invoices. But because you are using an accounting system, we can print the invoices or the schedule of the invoices from the accounting system, because we are using an accounting system to invoice. So they are readily available. But for your organization, you guys, you only have sales invoices. That's trouble. If there is audit by BRS, you are going to be in trouble because you are showing all the invoices that you are sending to customers with VAT. You are not recording your invoices for expenses, because the VAT on the invoices for sales and the VAT on the invoices for expenses should be knocked off, and then we pay the net amount. But as for you, if BRS say they want to just concentrate on your system and they don't want stories, you'll be in trouble. You lose everything. Are we together? So all documents should go into the system, because then we are saying file, then the file system. Then the system now will make our job easy because it knows where to post. The moment you capture the invoice in the system will know the double entry. You don't have to debit and credit. It will do the debit and credit the system by itself. Just by raising the invoice, it will know that the invoice is supposed to go to a customer account. So it will make an entry in the customer account at the time you are invoicing. And it will make an entry in the sales account at the time of invoicing. So you are not going to be doing debit and credit that you did at school. Because of AI, the system will automatically do the accounting for you, but it will not do the accounting before you have entered the documents. So that's why it is critical to get filing 100%. It is critical. Then the system will do the accounting for you. Actually, we don't do anything these days. You just capture the document. The system will know what to do. And then the next thing, you have your trial balance. And you feed the trial balance in the next system. You have your financial. It's quite easy. But it's looking like it's a rocket science because you did not get the first stage correct. There is no way where you will have a good building or a house without a good foundation. And your foundation in accounting is filing. That is where in most cases, they talk of systems. What systems are they talking? Handling of documents, all together. And making sure that as those documents are passing from one stage to the next, there are controls. Those basically are systems that we are talking about. Are we together? So you look at your documents, you look at what controls do you have in place to protect your business from losing. It could be losing through fraud, right? Employees can steal. It could be losing through assets, misuse of assets. Are you with me there? Right? So when we have systems, when our filing is right, we are in charge of our business. We know what is happening because there's no accounting that you are going to do. You are simply going to capture the documents that you filed, and the system will produce accounts on its own. The problem is people are failing here on filing. Right now, I was talking to Mutusi. I said, Mutusi, I have invoices that I've received from your boss on WhatsApp when I was finalizing the financials for you. When I was finalizing financials for your company, there was a lot of profit. I'm not lying. Too much profit. And too much profit, it means too much tax. But there is a challenge. Now, if my accounts are not accurate and I have calculated too much profit, you are going to lose. Now I'm burying you alive. So then I had to interrogate, because the owner feels the actual money that went into the pocket. He knows that he has money when he doesn't have money. Then I said to him, boss, you have too much profit and you have too much tax to pay. I think in 2023 his tax was over $1 million. Income tax only. I haven't talked about other taxes. Just income tax on profit. Income tax for 2023 was over $1 million. Income tax for 2024, it was over $1 million again. But we then realized, because the filing is very bad, we then had to interrogate to say, can you tell me the expenses that are not paid? When I was saying this now, you saw rent which was not paid for 200,000. And it's not in the books. And I'm not putting it through. We need to sit down so that we force him, so that we make your job easy in terms of filing and stuff. Are we together? So everything, you get it right in accounting if your bookkeeping is correct. So this first stage, academically, what do we call it? The first stage, what do we call it? We call it source documents, if you've done accounts. So the first stage is assembling or collection or gathering of all source documents for the business. And then when we have collected them, we group them according to common characteristics. If there are sales invoices, we'll have sales invoices in one file. We'll group them. If we have expenses, we'll group them and have our expenses. Are we together? All those things. So, source documents, then from source documents, where do we go? We go to the journals. You remember? You did this at school. Now I'm trying to relate what I'm teaching you now. I didn't want to go to the theory, but the theory in the book, it says source documents, then from the source documents, journals. It's exactly what I'm saying here. That once you have collected the documents, when they say journals, that's when a journal is like a diary. Nothing special. Just a book. That's a journal. Are we together? And within that diary, we are saying we have different types of journals. We have one journal for common documents like sales, credit sales, invoices. They have their own book so that we can monitor them. Credit purchases. Are we together? Credit sales, credit purchases, cash sales. Are you with me? So that's when other journals, we have different types of journals. Are we together? We don't have to memorize all that. Because the system is built with all those things in place. Are we together? So now I'm going back. Then from the journals, where do you go? Ledgers. Because the ledgers now, this is where I was complaining to say, when I ask certain accountants about financials, they give me financials. When I say, give me the ledger and the trial balance, they can't. Which means those numbers are fabricated. It's cosmetic accounting. They did not sit down to look at the source documents, because you don't build numbers from nothing. Or you look in the sky and then you say the number is 10. Numbers are determined or are constructed from the source documents. So if you say the number is 50, then you should give us the invoices which, when we add, will give what? 50. Are you with me there? Yes. But most accountants, they can't do that. So you are saying source documents. From source documents, you capture the source documents into the system. The system will know, it will post into the journals. And from the journals, it will post into the ledgers. And then from the ledgers, the system will be able to produce for you the trial balance. The system will be able to produce the trial balance. And then from the trial balance, you do your financials. Are we together? Now, because you guys, we are in a crisis, I'm not able to follow the academic and theoretical process for your organization because you are doing things haphazardly. So we actually want to bring order into your company so that you begin to see these things that I'm talking about happening in your own organization. So for us to be able to do that, we're going to produce the financials manually, which I've done already. Okay? But we have to assimilate the systematic process of getting the numbers. Because accounting is a systematic process. Are we together? Of gathering, collecting, classifying. That's the system. All those things that I was talking about. That's accounting. Are we together? So we are going to do it. Right? So if I look at your organization, you need to come up with the following files. Your own files. If there were files, you need to tell them, no, we need to come up with new files, which we are able to understand and we can control and locate. Because I don't want to come to you and say, can you give me this invoice, and you can't pull it out. Because they are all over the place. Are we together? So, for your business, not all the businesses, but that's the model. For your business, I know you have a lot of expenses. So you need to open a file for expenses. All the invoices for expenses, they should be in that file. Right? And then you need to open another file for payments. Because we can have an expense, but it's not paid. Or we can have an expense, but it's paid. Okay. So the first thing is to say all our expenses in one file. All together. When we are making payments, we have to go back to the file of expense, pull out the invoice that we want to pay out together. Make a copy. Attach the copy, right, to the payment and put it in the file of paid expenses. So you have two files, just all the expenses. So I can see all the expenses are 50 million. Then I have paid expenses. I can see paid expenses are what? 5 million. Automatically I know I have not paid how much? 45 million. See, if your filing is good just with files, you know everything. Before even you do accounting. And that's bookkeeping. Altogether. So, you cannot get accounting right until your bookkeeping is 100%. Right? So you need file for expense, you need file for payments, then you need file for invoices, file for unpaid expenses, file for unpaid customer invoices. That's the receivables or the debtors altogether. Fixed assets register. Whenever you pay or you buy a new asset altogether, then you should keep that one in a separate file called fixed asset register, where we have all the invoices for all the assets that we bought as an organization. Why is it important? The value of the business altogether, the estimated value of the business is given by what? By the values of the assets. What you own is your value. Altogether. If you've got 5 cars, and I say how rich you are, if you have paid for them, you can add the values of those cars. That's how rich you are, isn't it? But you cannot do that if you don't have the documents, if you are not filing properly. So accounting is the easiest, but it fails where? Filing. So you guys have failed on filing, and even if you have joined the organization, you have simply joined a train in the wrong direction. We don't know when is your next stop. You are going, but you don't know where you are going. But you are in the train. Inside. Going somewhere where you don't know. That is exactly what you are doing. So you need to go back to your office and say, according to what Nelson has said, in 2024, all the invoices for the assets, where are they? You locate them. You open a file called fixed asset register. Right? And you can use dividers because you don't always buy assets. You can have the same fixed asset register a number of years. Then you just use dividers to say 2024, 2025, 2026. Then you put the invoices in the respective financial years. Are we together? Yes. So your filing is the problem, nothing else. And then the other thing is bank statements, very critical. All the money we receive, it goes into the bank statement. All the money we need, we take it from the bank statement. So there is no way you should operate without bank statements. You should force your employer to regularly give you bank statements, and you must religiously ensure that you have bank statements on a monthly basis consistently until the end of the year. Don't wait to look for bank statements when you want to produce financials or to file tax returns. That's bad. Are we together? So consistently, on a monthly basis, you should look at your filing. Have you done your filing? Have you received your bank statement? Everything is it done? Files first. There's no accounting that we are going to talk about when you don't have the documents. Files first. So in your office, you should be busy filing. And I know you have a lot of money that is being spent and you are not properly recording it. You are sending money with SMS to people on sites. They use that money, they never get back to you. So how are we going to account for it? So that should be the accountant's job, to send money to people and to follow up with those people to return and account for the money that you have given to them. If it is airtime, surely there is evidence that they bought the airtime. Whether it's message or whatever, they should send you send me the message for the money that I've given you, that you bought the airtime. What if someone says they want petrol money and they never buy the petrol? At least immediately when you do the transaction, send it to me. Why are you not sending it to me? Because, wow, they're stealing the money. And for your own information, everyone, including me, we are potential thieves. That's how you should look at people. Everyone, including yourself, you are a potential thief. Because people don't plan to steal. People steal because it can be stolen. I'm telling the truth. People steal because it can be stolen. If it cannot be stolen, you will not attempt because you get caught. That's why we talk of systems. So you know, no one knows about this. And possibly no one will ask about it. So what do I do? People steal because it can be stolen. Or you can steal. So make it difficult for people to steal. That's why people talk of what? Controls. You guys are on autopilot. You don't have controls. You are here because of the Holy Spirit. You are on autopilot. Completely autopilot. And the reason why your company is still standing, the guy is streetwise. You can steal from him, he can still make money. Because he's streetwise. Right now, he was talking to me that he wants to buy 3 buses for 15 million. Of course, he will buy with a loan, 3 buses for 15 million. But daily, those buses, they bring cash. So you won't feel the 15 million. And just one trip, if you guys know buses, it's a lot of money. One trip, that's good money. I've calculated it. It's good money. It's good money, buses. So he's going to put 3 more buses, brand new, on the market to add on the fleet. He's not investing in other things. He's investing on the assets to make more money. And because money will be coming daily, you might not see it. So his downfall is prolonged because of his strategies. But otherwise, we could have multiplied his wealth 100-fold if we put systems and we make people accountable for the money that we are managing. So as an accountant, you mustn't be a clown. People should be afraid to come to office. They should think twice. Hey, do I have to go? Because the type of questions that you ask is to make them accountable so that next time they know that this is not for stealing. But if you are just a good accountant, a child of God, nice going, who is on fast, okay, sign. My friend, even now, I'm telling you the truth. People don't steal because they plan to steal. They steal because the item is available to be stolen. Make it difficult for thieves to steal. Because everyone is a potential thief. Having said that, when you have developed these files, so you also have bank statements there. A file for bank statement. If you didn't have it, go and open it. File for bank statement. I want you to have all these files all together. Now, after that, because we are still on manual, we want to transition, want to move to 100% computerized system. We don't want to do manual. But we cannot just, we have to start from somewhere all together. So now, what you are going to do is as follows. Because now you have the files. You are making the files. Are we together? Yes. We are going to start with the bank statements. We're going to start with the bank statement, which means you are going to convert your bank statements into Excel. All of them, 100%. 12 months without break. I don't want a break. I want all bank accounts captured. 100%. Remember, accounting is not on a cash basis. When you use bank statements, you know that this is just what? 10% of your records. We still have a long way to go. But I'm saying, let's start with bank statements. You capture them 100%. Then when you have captured your bank statements 100%, this is now 2025. All together. When you have captured your, because I have done 2024 already for you. So we now want to, I think you have sent them already that we've captured, but we need to put everything that we're discussing here in a folder and then access everything in one folder. not on emails and stuff like that. So you guys, you should also have a folder which you call bookkeeping, altogether, where everything is taking place, right? So you capture your bank statements 100%, and after capturing them, you allocate. So you literally go through each and every line item of that bank statement. If there are 2,000 bank statements, you're gonna go through 2,000 transactions, one by one after you've captured them. What are you doing now? You are allocating them. What was it for? Was it fuel? Then you allocate it to fuel. Was it a salary? Then you allocate it what? To salary. Altogether. You don't have to do debit and credit. I didn't say go and do it. Reproduce the bank statements as they are and allocate them. Now, when you have done that, it means all the transactions, as far as cash is concerned, I've accounted for them. But as long as an item remains unpaid, it means I have not recorded them, because I've recorded bank statements. So now, that is why it is important to have these files. Now I go back to these files and say, on the expenses, which expenses were paid? And I can also relate with the bank statement. I can see for sure that these expenses were paid. Do you understand? Then I can see that the expenses which were not paid, when I captured the bank statements, were not recorded anyway. Then what do? I accrue them. Because the ones that were paid, I've already captured them when I did the bank statement. So which means the documents that I've not captured are the ones that are not paid. So what do? I accrue them. Then it means I've now recorded my transactions 100%. The paid and unpaid invoices have been recorded. Are you with me now? So from there now, from the bank statement, I can come up now with my ledgers. I sort now after I do my allocation. Fuel will be on its own as fuel. Salaries on their own as salaries. Mind you, that's why I'm saying it's a lot. Because the salaries that are on the bank statement are net salaries. But the expense to the business is not the net salary. It is the gross salary. But on the bank statement I have what? Net salaries. And how do I then get a complete thing now? Because I've captured the net, it's fine. Altogether. I simply have to bring in the payroll. So you also have to have what? A folder for your monthly payroll. Right? Because you cannot have correct accounting without payroll. So monthly payroll. Then you can see that you can now do your reconciliation. You say, I paid so much. My payroll was saying the net to be paid to the employee was 57,000. Then you look at your bank statements, you've paid 90,000. It means you have overpaid. Because your payroll is saying the salary is 50,000. But when I look at your bank statement, it's now saying net paid 90,000. Who else have you paid? Then that's where now I'm talking of controls now. I'm now checking. And then I then check the salary, I then check the net, then I bring in the issue of pay as you earn, and then I check whether the pay as you earn is paid or the pay as you earn is not. If the pay as you earn is not paid, I put it as a liability. Are we together? And my salary, I don't just put the salaries that I saw on the bank statement. I put the gross salaries. Are we together? That is why recording is very important. You can see how critical it is. You can see that it's not easy if we don't keep records. Are we together? So, after all those stages, after capturing, then I'll be able to have what? Ledgers. Then from the ledgers, I'll have my trial balance. Then from my trial balance, financials. We are done. So you just have to do these processes for me. So today, you have to open a folder today, whilst you are still here, before you leave. Open a folder, and you call it 2025 Bookkeeping and Accounting. And you give the name of your company. All together. And then within that file, I'm expecting to see all the bank accounts and all captured and all on Excel. All together. That's what I'm expecting. And then when you've reached that stage, you need to show me whilst you are still here. Then I can guide you. Because I'm going to handhold you and walk with you holding your hand. I'm not going to let you move to the next stage by yourself. So right now, I want you to sit there on one computer, make sure that you know all your bank accounts. So the first thing that I want is to say, you declare to me that you have so many bank accounts. You have to know how many bank accounts you have, not me. How to get it? Then when you have identified how many bank accounts you have, you list them, you write the bank name, you write the account number, and you write the type of the account. So you have it's on one page, all the bank, and it's part of your source documents. How to get it? Then from there, you have now each bank account captured in Excel. How to get it? Let's end there, and then show me that. So I want you to sit, the two of you, and do that part first.